Can you point them out to me? Can you go find these people, them, they? Who are these people? You, when you manage your money, do not spend more money when you make more money. Part of disruptive money is the proper allocation of resources that are there and bringing more resources to the fold. Because see, if once you manage these resources really well in the beginning, then you bring in new resources, you'll start to see the stack. You'll start to see accumulation. It'll be like snow coming down really quick. You'll be like, well, man, let's go out and build a snowman, or let's go out and build a cash man. Because once again, and I'm going to say this, and I will be very repetitive, it's not how much money you make. What if I said for years, manage your money or your money will manage you? If your money is managing you, and let's identify and define money managing you is if you need to do something, but you got to get paid from your job or your business to do that, your money is managing you. Money coming in. See, there's a lot of businesses that you can start online and make livable income and not take out some huge bank loan or get yourself in all kinds of crazy debt, or there's a lot of stuff that you can do, Brad, that you can do. But you must first get the hustler's mindset. You must learn to think differently and open your mind up on a new level and really, really enhance what you're doing, and then enhance what you can bring in. You're not managing your money's managing you. If you have to wait to get paid 2 or 3 times before you can do something because you got to make little payments, or if you're renting stuff from Aaron's Rent to Own or one of these other places, your money is managing you because you simple math and realize that if you save $30 a month for 10 months, it's $300, and that is a very good used washer and dryer set off Craigslist. So if you're paying 30, 40, 50, I don't even know how much it is. It could even be $60 a month for a washer and dryer for all I know, maybe more. If you saved for 3 months, maybe put away $500, $600, that's going to get you a very good washer and dryer set. I'm talking about with bells and whistles and tickles your nipples and stuff when it's done. It's like, come on in here, tickle, tickle, done. If you're doing that stuff, renting TVs, your money's managing you. If you're going to the title pawn place and you've been there several times, your money is managing you. You're not managing your money. Now, I know this is going to sound really, really insane. It is not how much money you make. I know you're Glendon. If I only made more money. Dude, if you don't understand, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm working 3 jobs. There is this insipid song talking about I don't have enough money for rent, but I got just enough to get me in the club. So I'm going to go in there until my time is over. And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell is this stuff? And it's part of the culture that you should be happy before you should be responsible. That's the culture. Be happy before you're responsible. And then when you're unhappy because you were irresponsible, you should blame someone else. That's the culture. And that's the problem. It's psychology techniques, mostly psychology, because once again, it is not how much money you make. If you make minimum wage, if you make 100,000, crank up your life very quickly, because one of the things, and this is something I talked about, and this is something that I've rejected, it's like the more money you make, the more money you spend. Who the fuck says you must do that? I live on a very small income. The money that comes in is ridiculously small because I don't have a lot of obligations. And see, one other thing with disruptive money, I'm going to talk to you about retirement in a way that no one else did. Well, you need 1.5 million. You need 2.8 million. How many of you have a grandmother or a grandfather or uncle, someone, someone who's, 70, 80 some, they have a house that's paid for, car they maybe had 20, 30 years to still run, it's in good service, and they're getting like a check about that big, and they're freaking independent, and they're taking care of themselves, and they're retired, and they don't need you or anyone else to help them out. How many of you have people like that? Got a lot of them on one side of the family. There's a bunch of them on one side of the family. The other side of the family, not so much. And these people are not millionaires, and they don't have stacks of cash, and they don't have silver and gold everywhere. What they did was they were responsible before they had fun. I'm going to give you a scenario. Right now, say you are Bob. No. Fuck Bob. No, and all the Bobs out there, I'm just kidding. Say you are Brad, And Brad, you're 36 years old. And Brad, you make 50 grand a year. You have a little education, you have a halfway decent job, and you're living like everyone else. You have the best car you can get with your 50 grand. You're living in the best place you can for your 50 grand. And at the end of the month, there's not a lot left over. You're putting money in your 401k, and, if you do anything extra, you either have to get an extra job, do Uber, sell some stuff on eBay to bring a little extra cash so you can go out and buy a steak dinner for you and your girl, or, take a trip, because your primary income is not enough. Now, in your mind, Brad, you're going, well, it's not enough money. Nope, that's not it. It's how you spend your money, Brad. That's right, Brad. You were spending your money the fucking wrong way. So what we're going to do is take out the magic erase board, and we're going to erase your fucking life. We're going to just fucking erase all that shit and start from scratch. You still with me? Did I erase you? No. Okay, you're good. So what are we going to do? You now have that same $50,000 a year job, but you have a car that you pay cash for. So poof, that $300 to $800 car note is gone. So that money goes back into Brad's super bat cave stash. All right, so you're like, it's just you and your parrot. So instead of having this 3 to 4 bedroom house and it's just you and this parrot, and you're paying, $1,200 to maybe $2,000 a month on mortgage, something, you like, you know what? It's just me. I'm Brad. I'm the fucking man. I'm gonna get me a duplex. Most duplexes are not in the best neighborhood, but they're not like totally torn down. So you get your duplex, and you're paying maybe 25% less than you're paying on your mortgage. But now you have this other thing over here that's you can rent out, and now you're only paying $300-400 a month living expenses because someone else is paying the rest because you're renting that side out. So let's stop. Hit freeze. Okay, I'm going to freeze your ass. All right, so just on those two adjustments, right? This is disruptive money or smart money. Or there's people who've done this before. This isn't rocket science. You have realized $600 to maybe $1,200 a month back into the bat stash. That's not going into the outgo, I'm trying to be like everyone else stash. So now you've got like $1,200. Wait a minute. And you have an asset that's appreciating that someone else is helping you pay for. And your stress level is like way down. You're like, And then that $50,000 job, so you wake up one day, you go there, and they say, Brad, fuck you. We don't need you anymore. You've been a good boy, but we don't need you anymore. And you're like, okay. So you go back home and you just sit down, and because your stress level is low and your expense level is low, you do something that many people who are in that position because their expense level is high and their stress level is high is you think. Like, okay, well, but the renter is pretty good, and so I've got like a budgetary shortfall. I need to make like $500 to replace, my income, because that was your portion, electricity and stuff, because your car's paid for. So when you wake up in the morning, it's still going to be there because you don't have a car payment. So you got your car that's paid for, you don't have any debt, and you got someone over there paying half or more of your mortgage. So now you're like, whoa, wait a minute. You have, because the secret Batcave stash, you could live for months or maybe a few years and not actually work. It wouldn't be glorious, but it wouldn't be horrible. So you're still making the same 50. You're still doing that, and you are able to not just survive, but you can thrive. Because since you're Brad, and now the secret Hustler University, the Hustler Mindset Project handshake. Since you're Brad and the Hustler Mindset Project handshake, all that shit, and you've been in there, you go out and you enhance that side gig that was only making you $50-60 a month because you were taking your time and you were building it right, because it was about disruptive money, managing what you have and bringing more in versus either saving as much as you can or trying to bowl out and make all this money so you could just like, hey, I just blew $1,500 on a pair of shoes, and then I mean shit, because next week I'm getting it back again, because I'm living like. No, you're not that fucking fool. You're Brad. You're the new and improved Brad. You've got a big ass D on your chest for fucking disruptive. So you're doing that, and it's like, so you've had your business for 6 months or maybe a year or so. Then what you do is, since you now no longer have a job, you just like, well, I'll get up and I'll just really push hard on my business. And whoa, what do you know? In a matter of weeks, because it was already started, it was already vetted, it was already validated, you have replaced your $50,000 a year job with business income, and you've cut your fucking work hours in half. That is disruptive money. See, what I realized a long freaking time ago, this chase to be a millionaire, this chase to be a billionaire is fruitless and stupid. If you create a product that serves millions, you'll become a billionaire. But if you simply go out there chasing billionaire status, boss status, just because you want to be a boss with nothing to fucking offer the world, then you are past boo-boo the fool. You're just damn stupid. And that's this dream and fallacy that many people are chasing. Like, once again, I'll tell you, I've lived off a very small amount of money, but all my furniture is paid for. TV's paid for. This iMac's paid for. The MacBook Pro's paid for. The iPhones, it's all paid for. So there's not this huge, hold on, 10, 9, 8. You don't even get to the full count, because your checking account is a freaking lunch pad. Money doesn't even have time to sit on its ass and chill or smoke a cigarette or drink a cold one, because as soon as it's in there, it's out of there just like that. And that's because your money is managing you versus you managing your money. So there's this new, well, it's not really new. It's something I've done with a few people, and I do a lot of times with a lot of business people, because many folks don't have these accounts set up. But once you set these accounts up and once you follow this plan, you will see more money in your life, regardless of how much money you make. Also, something else I'm doing. The Facebook group is closed. And there's people in there, and they can do whatever the hell they want. So if you opt out of there, you can't come back. No, you can't add your friend. No, Boo Boo the dog can't come. No, it's closed. I'm going to open up a new group. It will not be on Facebook. It will be a paid group. Now, what will be in this paid group, Glendon? Good question, Brad. Glad you asked. It's going to be how to make money. It's going to be about digital disruption, and that's it. And it will be a private group, probably $10-20 a month, because one of the things that I realized, and I've, for the folks in the Facebook group, because I told them I wasn't going to share any more stuff, because I haven't posted any offers or anything in there, because it's just a social group now. That's essentially what it is. That I've been testing them, because, like I said, I'm not in town right now. And I went away, and I didn't really post nothing this weekend. It was hanging a little different. Many people put out these products, and then they come down in price later on. I am building these products, and I'm making them go up in price later on. So you want to get in now. So if you just want that and don't want to be part of the Hustler Mindset Project, the full deal, you should. I'm telling you, you really should. That's cool, because I'll make something just for you. And it's like $150. You get in, you have to pay nothing else ever again. However, you're not going to get the other stuff that's going to pop off up in, the Hustler Mindset Project. So just letting you know that up front and up now, because once again, one of the reasons that the message was muddled, and that's on me, I made some mistakes, was I didn't have the clear expectations laid out that I'm laying out now. This is what you get, this is what you pay, and this is it. And also, I made a lot of offers, like for all those folks who came in at the $29.95, and there were folks like, I don't know what this fool's gonna do. I'll just sit back and wait. Surprise! Please, and I mean seriously, don't send me any emails like you just found this or it was in your spam folder. I know I look like this, but I'm really not like that. I understand that you want to get that deal and you missed out, and boo-hoo, it's fucking too late. Once again, I am the guy that will tell you the truth. I do these videos, I do this stuff to make money. I'm not your friend. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm none of this stuff. And sometimes I meet people who become cool and we get real cool. But the primary focus here is to provide a service and a product that helps people. That's the primary focus. And sometimes friendship gets in the fucking way. Because it's like, we're boys and everything. And you're going to hook me up with that $1,000 product. No, I'm not. I will tell you no in a heartbeat. But essentially, that's what it's going to be. And as I expand the concept, and let me go ahead and just say this disruptive circus is just one aspect of the Hustler Mindset Project. Then there is the digital pimping. That's going to be another part of the Hustler Mindset Project, and that's going to be it's going to come under the umbrella. Let me be really clear. It's going to come under the umbrella, and it's really going to be for the folks who pay the most. Let's just say it that way. Because I just kind of open that up because essentially I'm going to break off modules. If you just want disruptive money, disruptive economy, disruptive wealth, disruptive man, boom, you can just have that. And that's all you get. That's it. That's all you get. And then if you want more, you pay more. And I'm doing that because essentially I have been able to fashion, and once again, I don't make like crazy money like you hear all these other folks like, I'm doing 50, 60, 70, 80. I don't do that per month. I don't do that. But this is what I am doing. I make enough to keep myself out the matrix. I don't deal with traffic. Pretty much once I get my core work done, I'm free to do as I please. I believe that time that is unencumbered, that you get to do whatever the hell you want, is one of the greatest sources of wealth there is. And I have that. And one of the reasons I make it like that, because it's very important to me that I get up and I chart my day and I do what I want to do and hang out with what I want to hang out with and plan my life on my terms versus being led around the matrix like, you must work with these people you hate. You must work with these people who hate you. You must make nice with these folks who would probably slit your throat if they could. You know how stressful that is? And, I have a history of ulcers. I had 4 bleeding ulcers, bled out, upper GI bleed, and woke up in the emergency room. And if I wasn't with someone, I'd probably be dead. That's reality. So I am very, very aware of keeping my stress level down. And that's why that's why I'm real blunt. Because, see, when I say fuck you or you don't like it, kiss my ass, that is it reduces so much stress. I mean, it's just like, because I'm not going to allow my thoughts of you to harbor in me and pollute me or poison me or do whatever when I could just simply say, fuck you, get it out and give it to you because you deserve it. And we could just go on about life and everyone would be happy. Well, I'll be happy because I'm not stressed out. So that's going to be part of the disruptive man because essentially I've come across a lot of information, a lot of stuff I've been watching and reading. And this was really an accident because the second time I got sick was when I was in the hospital for the week. Then the first time is what led me to writing. And I've noticed that other than a cold, that's about all I get because I manage my health, so to speak. And I'm going to keep it that way. And that's something that I'm going to teach you how to do because once you reprogram yourself and get out of this, I got to get all of this money and I got to do all this other stuff because most of that is ego. Most of it is ego. And it can keep you poor in one aspect of your life. I mean, your ego can drive you to build empires and build all this stuff. But at the end of the day, how much time do you have? Are you able to lay in bed for an hour in the morning before you get up thinking about, when am I going to do that? Can you do that? I mean, if your life is so structured that, bam, you got to get up and do this. Bam, you got to do this. 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 The stress. And I have a video up here making fun of people who are going, thank God it's Friday. And part of that is my insensitivity because I haven't had to deal with that shit in like 15 years that I forgot what it's like to work all fucking week. No time for yourself. taking 5-minute showers, running out the door, leaving one job to go to another job. Then when you finally get a day and a half, because it's not a full 2 days off because Sunday's a work night, you just exhale and lose your mind and get drunk and just like, oh God, it's Friday. Ooh, I can sleep in. That's a horrible fucking way to live, in my opinion. Once again, that's just my opinion. That's a fucking horrible way to live. That you are working 5.5 days to have 1.5 days to yourself. Do you really think this shit was set up like that? Now, part of changing that is disruptive money. Because let's go ahead and parse it out and put it together. Number one, a lot of the things that you do to earn money. Nothing wrong with that. The problem is the motivation and the psychological signals that are you doing certain things. Like, and I'm not bragging, but when I put on the suit, people are freaking shocked because I look like the man. And I don't wear suits and stuff because most of the people I associate with know I'm an internet dude. And I proudly announced that. I'm an internet dude, and I'm glad Atlanta and it's just getting bigger, and other places I'm looking at moving to. That's cool because I actually thought about moving to Austin, Texas. And, when you say you're an internet dude in San Francisco, Austin, Texas, people are like, oh, okay. You say it in certain parts of the South, I'm in that dude. So what you mean, tell me, boys, you still don't have no fucking job, huh? Fucking sorry. Or a criminal. I mean, those are the attitudes of people who have not expanded their consciousness, their mindset, nor their intellectual assets. They're just like, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to stay. It was good enough for my grandfather. It's good enough for me. It's going to be good enough for my son. He better not try to ever fucking grow, or I kill his ass. I mean, you got people like that because they're afraid that they're going to get left behind. They're afraid that bad things are going to happen. And typically when someone becomes to a new level of consciousness, people do get left behind because you no longer can relate. You can be friendly, but you can no longer relate. So until everyone raises their intellectual game, you're going to have these problems. And it's very, very bad. And I was reading this article about something that was happening in Japan, and I didn't know this. And I lived in Japan, but I never knew. Actually, I did know this, but I didn't have the proper context because it's like, these things, but you don't pay attention to it. So many men in Japan between the ages of 25 and 35 were adopted. And I'm like, what are you talking about, G? Well, essentially, the Japanese culture, because someone posted an article about how some companies in Japanese culture have been in business 1,000 years. And essentially, there was a great deal of subsidization going on. But if a father realized that his son wasn't of enough business snuff to run the business, he would outsource. He would find some dude and say, oh, you'll marry my daughter and you get company. I mean, seriously, conversation went just like that. So dude would come in, get adopted, marry the daughter, and then they would pass the company on to him. Now, what's really interesting is a lot of these adopted sons outperform the legacy sons, which shows you outsourcing works. It works, right? And I looked at that, and essentially, it's just really, really funny when you get to the point where you're looking at people from a standpoint of actual accomplishment versus legacy and entitlement. And that's another thing that really messes people up with their money. Many people feel that, okay, going back to that insipid song, I haven't paid my bills, I haven't done this, but you know what? I deserve to go on a vacation. Oh, I haven't worked for 2 years and I got a job, but I feel the need to go on a vacation. People are going to argue with me and be mad, and I don't really give a fuck. But if your ass hasn't worked for 2 years or 3 years or been productive, you don't need a fucking vacation. You need to get busy. And that's part of with disruptive money, because I had to talk someone out of it. Dude was set up, it's just like, things started getting good. And I said, okay, you are about to start spending money. For the last 4 years, you've been living on hardly fucking nothing. If you follow my advice, you will be paid in ways you can't imagine. And I was just like, he was like that horse, right? You just had to like put the stun gun on him, because he was just like, I want to go, I want to go, I want to. I'm like, dude, calm the fuck down. So Brad, we'll name him Brad. Everyone's fucking Brad today, and Brad listened to me, right? And he calmed down and he followed my plan, and then he got hurt maybe 2 years later. But because Brad had money, it was more of a unfortunate event versus a financial fucking tragedy. So this is the thing. And, and I'll say this to you, Brad. Brad to be, Brad the second, Brad the third, Brad the fucking 10th, right? Essentially, if you go through this program and you learn these steps, you'll always have money. You'll always have cash flow. You'll always have a little somewhere. And you'll never be what I call flat ass broke again, which is scary. I remember I was dating this chick, and her 50-some-year-old uncle from another state called her for $20 fucking dollars. I am not bullshitting you. He called her I heard the message, because he left a message on their answering machine. She was one of the few people I knew with a home phone and a cell phone. Dude was begging for $20. $20. I would cut my fucking throat before I beg someone for $20. $20. That's fucking disgusting to beg someone for $20. And he was a career system abuser, or I guess still is, I don't know. And that's horrible. That's terrible. I remember as a kid, we had situations, because one of the reasons that I have learned the mantra of manage your money or your money's going to manage you is my mother was extremely bad with money. I'm talking about real bad. I'm talking about scary bad. Talking about. And I saw it. And a lot of people don't want to observe and examine their parents because it's like, that's mom or dad. I don't hold such sanctions. A fuck up is a fuck up, even if it's your parent. That's just reality. And, people go like, well, that's harsh. You shouldn't say that about someone's mom or dad. You know what? Let's talk about that. I'm going to talk about that because your mom and dad has a job, and I'm quite sure if they are fuck up at home, they were fucking up at work, and they were told that they were fuck up, and it doesn't matter if they were your mom or dad because they were fucking up. So when you start to loosen yourself and regurgitate all that stuff and really look at situations as they are, Brad, not like you want them to be, when you can say, I love my mom, I love my dad, but they're fucked up people or they have fucked up habits, and be honest with that frees you from a lot of stuff. But if you like, it ain't happening. No. Because I was on Facebook one day, and there were some people who were romanticizing their parents, and I was like, who are those motherfuckers? That's not the same motherfuckers I grew up with. Really? For real. And I stayed out the conversation. I just stayed out the conversation because one of my legacies is I have an extremely good memory. I have messed up a lot of chicks because I don't have like endemic memory, but damn near close, because I can fucking go chapter and verse and like on such and such day this happened and just bring that stuff home. And I remember how horrible these people were. I lived next door to them, and it was just like, what? Those are not the same people. And this is what we like to do to make ourselves feel better about past experiences, is to romanticize some shit like this thing in, quote, the black community of kings and queens. I always thought that was bullshit. It's like, instead of claiming you some shit that you're not, make yourself something worthy, And I just reject a lot of that stuff. But when you're living on these false narratives, Brad, and when you're inhaling these false narratives, Brad, you're living a false life. And then if you're living a false life and you're romanticizing bad things that happened in the past, Brad, you have a false life, You have false memories. You have false dreams. How the fuck can you be real, Brad? So that's what's going to be happening. You're going to get more of that in the Hustler Mindset Project going forward. It's going to be different curriculum. And what I'm doing, and for those of you, I have to let you know, who are already in the other one, there's 2 sites. It's 2. My Kung Fu's twice as tough. I'm not moving you yet. You will be moved, but right now, you can stay in bed, roll over, don't hit the snooze button. Nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to start this new content on the new site. And due to one of the snazzy new features, I can move it over to where you are and don't disrupt nothing. It's like cool. Probably going to do is just upload on both sites. And that way you'll get the stuff where you are and you don't have to move and we don't have all this other stuff. And then the new people will have the new site with the new content. And the first class is disruptive money. We're going to talk about some stuff. I'm going to tell you what I do. I'm going to tell you about some secrets, some tricks, because I moved back the credit thing because, once again, bad credit typically outside of calamity or someone getting sick or, you just get fired and you can't find a job for 18 months. I mean, to me, if your credit goes bad like that, that's just some shit that happened. But if you're making good money and you've not been laid off and your credit's fucked up, it's you, Brad. It's you. So that's no excuse. It's just piss poor money management. So we're going to do disruptive money. We're going to talk about that, put you on a path to where you are making better use of the money you already have. So when you get more money, it does better things for you in your life versus just disappearing in the ozone, or you doing stupid shit like it was Saturday night and you spent $600 and you don't have shit to account for it. Do you know you can start an internet business for $600? Seriously. Conundrum Publishing, which is closed, it didn't fit where I'm going in a new direction. I started for $287 and did not reinvest any money. Well, not even reinvest. The money that came into it, maybe 2.5 years later, was from revenue. There was no outside. So then life is just more better all the way around. Brad. All right. So